So yesterday this happened. It snowed in mid-April, and thankfully today it's all melting. So instead of me having to spend quite a bit of time shoveling, I can bring to you guys instead an unboxing of an older graphics card, but a graphics card nonetheless, and an upgrade for the $450 build. So let's step inside and show you what we got. So here's the $450 build, and here's baby's first upgrade, the Radeon RX 580 8GB GPU. This should bring us the performance we've been wanting in 1080p. So let's go ahead and unbox it, and thanks for coming to the middle of nowhere. The RX 580 Gaming by Gigabyte comes in a very simple packaging. When you open the box, you're presented with the card sealed in a static-proof bag. You can tell that this is brand new because the sticker is still sealed. One thing that I was disappointed in when I unboxed this for the first time was that there's no backplate. The cooling shroud is made of plastic, and there are two 90 to 100 millimeter cooling fans. You power the card through a supplemental 8-pin power from your power supply, and all that's left in it is the nice dense foam padding and a driver CD and quick start guide. If you watched the video of the build, you know that this is a $450 budget build, entry level, for those who, need a computer but maybe don't have all the money. It is using a AMD 3200G, which has an integrated GPU, so the original build didn't have a discrete graphics card. However, about a month ago, I found a great deal on an RX 580 8GB version from Gigabyte. It is the gaming version, Rev 2, and so I ended up purchasing it, popped it into the build, and did some additional benchmarking, and well, the results, to say the least, are amazing. Gaming performance just increased overall. The integrated graphics processing unit, the Vega 8, on the 3200G, it's okay. It can get you by. You can game. You can't game very well. It might not even be considered pleasurable, but you can game. And what I'm going to do is pop up on the screen in a little bit, show comparison benchmarks between my gaming experience from the previous video as compared to having this graphics card in it. Now, the RX 580 is an older graphics card. In fact, this one turns 3 years old today. It is running the Polaris architecture as opposed to Navi, which is AMD's most recent architecture, and it's obviously not running any NVIDIA type encoder or anything like that, so you won't be able to enjoy the benefits of NVENC. However, for a 1080p workload, this card gets the job done, and I was completely blown away by the results and actually very happy. I could basically play almost every game that I did in the old benchmark on the highest settings with really no extreme lag. Now, you might want to go in and tweak some of the settings to really fine tune it, or even do a slight overclock on this card, because it can do that, to get the most out of it, and even the CPU. But really, as it is out of the box, if you're not comfortable with overclocking, this thing did amazing. So enough of me blabbing. Let's go ahead and get to the results that's that. All right, cut. Now that you've seen the results, what do you think? Drastically improved? I mean, this thing only costs $170, $179 retail. I lucked out and got this for a steal at $134 before taxes. So keep an eye out. You can also look at the used market. You'll be able to get it for around that price as well. Just be wary, because on the used market, these RX 580s were heavily utilized during the mining craze a couple years ago. So be careful purchasing used. Now, again, as I said, the cons to this card, or using this card, is basically that it's an older architecture. It is 3 years old. And if you want to get the most up-to-date new stuff, you're going to end up paying a price premium of, at the very least, another $100. Maybe, well, let me scratch that. About 70 to 100 might be the range. If you want to go on the NVIDIA side of things, you're looking at maybe a 1650 Ti or the 1660 Super, and the 1660 Super, the cheapest can be had, is $229. So you're looking for at the very minimum of $50 to $60 markup, if you know, compared to the normal retail price of $179 on this card. Having said that, if you're on a budget, this thing is my suggestion. The RX 580 performed outstanding. I was able to, again, I've already said this, get everything on, you know, highest settings or near highest and have a flawless performance. I think the next upgrade for a build like this, a budget build, would be to go with the CPU. And having even said that, if you can, out of the gate, afford a discrete GPU, I would recommend AMD's 1600 AF series. It's essentially a Ryzen plus 2600, just a little less clock. It is a true second gen or Ryzen plus part, whatever. I guess, right, technically the 3000 series is second gen. But anyway, it is truly a second release part, even though it has the 1600 name behind it. So you're not going to run into the memory controller issues. You're going to have increased instructions per clock, IPC. So yeah, so the 1600 AF would be my next recommended upgrade for this type of build, or even just recommended period initially if you're thinking of a budget build. It's $85, which is in fact roughly like $9 cheaper than the 3200G. So yeah, so that's it. Want to keep this short and sweet. This is the upgrade. Gigabyte's RX 580 Gaming, the 8 gig memory version. So I would recommend definitely going with that over the 4 if you can find it. Because I did notice some of the games were, you know, stretching that memory buffer pretty well. All right, let me know what you think. What upgrades would you make next to this baby build? If you have any questions, let me know. Put everything in the comment below. I'm Seth. Thanks for coming to the middle of nowhere, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe, everybody.
I'm a kitty cat. And a meow 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 and a meow meow meow. I'm a kitty cat. And a dance. I say sexy things about myself when I'm dancing. I'm a kitty cat.